Joining me now is Tony and your brother. Your brother is John, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to give a little background, and this is about a horrible, horrible story. Your father, correct? Was it your father that was murdered?
Yes.
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 Okay, who wants to? Tony, this happened on August, or no, August 23rd, I think it was.
Yes, sir.
So what happened? You got the time. I'm not limiting anybody on time now. What happened?
Good question. Well, this I got the call the next day. This happened on Wednesday, I believe.
Okay.
The 23rd. Was
Yep.
it the 23rd? And I didn't get the call until let me see, that day,
Okay.
the next day,
Okay.
which was on a Thursday. So I was pretty busy cleaning that day. It was a stormy day, and just an ordinary day, cleaning the house. Didn't think of nothing in particular, anything wrong going on, and I didn't even know that people were trying to get in touch with me, or that this was even taking place until my phone was charged the next day, and all these calls start pouring in. And I answered one specific call, and that was a friend of mine, Dorian, and she announced to me Thursday morning at 11 o'clock that my brother murdered my father, our father.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And
I'm gonna
first
put
I
a. I'm
thought
gonna
it
put a picture. Let me put this picture up on the screen. This is your dad. I don't know if you can see the picture I put up, but that's your dad.
Yeah, that's him.
yes.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about him. He looks like a great guy. Tell me about him.
My dad was a humble man.
Very humble. Very humble. And very loving to all of us. I mean, like it wasn't nothing that man wouldn't do for none of us. You understand? I mean, like you call Pops, he got you. If he didn't have you, he'd try to make a way. He was that kind of guy, you know. He always said that, you know, he only had his children. And that's just how he felt, you know. Went through a bad marriage for the second time. You know, I was there to help him out through that because she was on drugs really bad and taking his money. And even though she was doing all that, he stayed with the woman. You know what I'm saying? Because he loved her, and he just didn't want to let go. But you know, in the end, she ended up passing away. But we got it all straight where she couldn't get back into his account. But he was just that kind of guy. I mean, like you could do whatever. You might hurt his feelings, but he just wouldn't let go. He was not the kind of guy that, you know what I'm saying, just would turn his back on you. He still had faith in you that you could change. You know what I mean?
Wow. It sounds like he would help anyone.
Yeah, he would. He'd give the shirt off his back. He was that kind of guy, man. He'd give you his shirt off his back, and if you needed trousers too, he'd give them to you too. You know what I mean? He would. I mean, he was like he would go to every length to help anybody because he was just that heart and I mean, heart-filled and humble, man. He was a beautiful man for real. He was a
Well,
beautiful
that
man.
I want to every time I do a story about something like this, I want to highlight the man, the individual, because we all need to recognize that he is one of the good ones. He was one of the good ones in our community. So I want
He
everyone to
was.
know. I want everyone to know how good of a man he was.
Yeah, well, he was really a good man. That those statements there are true statements about him, and you can use them all day because it was nothing he wouldn't do for nobody. That was his mission. If he could help you, he would help you. You know what I'm saying? He would never turn his back on nobody. And to be honest
Gotcha.
with you, you know, me and him had a conversation about even letting Franklin come back to live with him, and he said, you know, John, I really some tell me I shouldn't let him stay here because you know he's been in and out of trouble his whole life. He's been on parole forever, and keeps getting out on parole for a lot of assault and battery against women. He almost killed a good friend of mine on a high speed chase down Stewart Street and Clyde Road. ran into my friend's Jeep and turned it over, almost killed him. You hear me? And he didn't do but 2 years. But the girl that was with him, because she was driving, she got the charge. But it was his car, and it was in another girl car that he went in on to get the vehicle. Okay, so, but the long story short, all that he did, he was like, John, I don't feel like I should let him stay here, but that's my son. You know, I love my son. I love my children. He said, I would never turn my back on him. I said, Dad, if your feelings is feeling like that, if you got those feelings, don't let him stay here. He said, I know, son, it might be my death. And he was right.
So Franklin, Richard, that's your brother, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So he's in jail right now. He was arrested for felony murder, first-degree arson, open murder. As far as what did he light the home on fire? Explain. I know it's hard to talk about it, but did he burn his dad's home down?
Yeah. Well, it's an apartment complex. It was
Westgate.
Yeah. Yes. It was apartment complex. He burnt the whole top floor and it hit some of the bottom floor. It did a lot of damage to the other apartments in the building, but I know for sure it was the top and the bottom floor that was most affected. The apartment underneath him, in his apartment. He set him on fire right in the living room.
So some friends
I know. Go ahead.
But yeah, so some other people, close friends that was living also in that part of the complex where my dad was affected and lost a lot too, and were shifted to the terrace.
Gotcha.
To another apartment. But
this has to be so difficult because it's a family member. I mean, I had a family member back in the day that got in a lot of trouble. He was locked up in prison often. But how do you? What are your feelings? I mean, you got a lot going through your head probably with this.
Lots. Why? What if? Just it's complicated because I don't understand his mindset at the time. But to say, I was told he was in the influence of a lot of drugs, a lot of self-medicating for a very long time. And he's been talking about doing this for a very long time. I just, we just look past it, call it a bluff. Oh, he's not going to do anything. But every time he was under the influence of a lot of drugs, he would always target Pops, target our father. Just saying awful things about him, F him, and just nasty things. And I asked him, why do you keep targeting Dad? What did he do? What did he say? What's everything about? So I was always left in the dark about a lot of things. But he would go out into a rage even before this took place about killing family members. He always had this vendetta against his own father. And to this day, I don't understand why.
Do you think the system failed him? He could have gotten help somewhere that he didn't?
Yes, the system has failed my father.
I feel like the system failed big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
It sounds like it failed. It failed both of them. Both of them.
Yeah. Well, I say this because not just because he failed both of them, but because of the fact that Franklin has been in trouble his whole damn life. Okay, before this even happened, and he's been in and out of jail. And the system should have kept him for a whole lot of things. I mean, he has so many assaults against the women he has dated that to be honest with you, I don't know how he got out of it. I mean, honestly, he should have stayed in prison, or they should have put him in a program to help him.
So you're saying okay, so you're saying your brother should have been in prison and your dad would still be alive.
Yeah, correct. Yes. If you look at his track record, sir, this boy has several assaults against women. Okay, the last assault he had with the woman was when he jumped on. Well, not the last one. The one before this one, Melinda, but the last one when he drugged this girl down the driveway in her car because he was trying to steal her income tax money, and went on that chase through from the pier down Stewart and hit my friend car on Clyde Road right in front of the Family Dollar, almost killed him. Okay, they should have kept him then. They only gave him 2 years and charged the female. No, they both should have stayed in there because they was reckless driving. They almost killed a man, okay? And he jumped on a girl in Lapeer.
And the car was in his name.
And the car was in his name and the girl that he jumped on named in Lapeer. So you tell me who fell who. Why wouldn't they keep him? They gave him 2 years, put him back on the street. Then this fool get a tether put on his leg. He cuts it off. He does new path or something. 45 days and he back out and no tether.
And then he did another high-speed chase in my dad's car, running from the police.
Yeah, I want to ask you. Even he's your brother, but you knew, and you love your brother. You said, but you knew the danger he had. So you wanted him to stay behind bars because you knew how dangerous he was. You may have loved him, but you wanted what was best for him. And it sounds like what was best for him in your mind was behind bars.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Or put him in a mental institution where he could get some help.
Yes.
I mean, because it really, honestly, he was a threat to society. I mean, anybody could be, in his path and could get hurt when he gets on his rages,
You see, what a lot of people didn't know, and I kept telling people this, even my father, they kept asking me, why is he acting like this? Why is he acting like this? I said, he doesn't take medication anymore. He was taking Ritalin when we were children. He was always chemically imbalanced and off. You could tell him something, but he wasn't always focused. Mm-hmm. He was always this way, but as he became an adult, it became ADD.
Yeah, it got worse.
He had an attention disorder, and I kept telling everybody this. And then on top of the drugs he was taking, it was really chemically messed up. And nobody would listen to me. They thought, oh, he just, that's just the way he is. I'm like, no, this guy has a mental problem. Everybody was like, oh, ain't nothing wrong with him. They thought it was funny. I didn't think it was funny because I had to grow up with him,
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, and this is happening.
I said he had ADD.
It's happening everywhere. I've done so many stories. People are just fed up with the system. It's something, I don't know what needs to be done, but that's why I wanted to talk to you. He's your brother, and you were still wanting him to be behind bars or getting help, and he got nothing.
No, he got nothing.
And now your dad is suffering. Did something happen a couple months ago with your mom? Or I thought was there something that happened months ago?
Oh, yeah. I have my fiance sitting here. She was there when this happened.
Okay. What, you mean a couple months ago, whatever? Whoever put me in contact. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, my fiance was there that day. It happened.
Okay, are you whoever connected both of us? That's what they told me about first. That's something. What is your name, ma'am? I'm sorry, I forget.
Mary. I'm Mary. I'm the one who talked to you.
Oh, you talked to me. Okay, yeah. Explain what happened. Was it earlier this year?
It was actually March 23rd when it happened. He had gotten in an argument with his girlfriend, and he came over to Mama's house, and he was over there. Me and my girlfriend were staying there at the time, and he was thinking that we were involved in trafficking and working with the police, and he was walking around the house with a baseball bat in his hand. He was hitting walls and everything else, and the lady there that I was taking care of, she was in a wheelchair, and he started throwing gas all over the floor and stuff, and I was trying to get her out of the house as Mama was calling the police. Police showed up. They seen him and everything, but they didn't do anything to him. even though he had been.
They didn't do any. They didn't take him. They didn't arrest him.
Nope, and he was already absconding from parole at the time.
Isn't it? If you're on parole, you're not allowed to have contact with police while you're on parole. That's a violation, I think.
Correct.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yes.
Or have any form of a weapon, and he was walking around with a baseball bat hitting things.
What was this? Flint police?
Yes.
So did they take it seriously? Obviously not.
I think it's like, no.
I don't think they took it seriously, no.
They let him go right back home to my pop's house. They let him go right back.
So this, if they would have arrested him, or this could have been prevented as well.
Exactly.
Correct. Or like 2 weeks before that, when he had gone after Pops with the tire iron, we had contacted his parole agency. There was 2 of them. There was a guy and a woman, and neither one of them done anything about it.
So you contacted the parole. What did the parole agent just? What, did nothing?
They never returned calls. They never did anything. They never checked it out. Nothing.
And
they
wonder,
already knew his mental state.
My God. And this is why I wanted to talk to you like this, because, you know, Channel 12 did the story. They didn't get into all this stuff. And the stuff that really matters is this is going to keep happening unless something changes.
Correct.
I just want to say, if I can, I just want to say this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Flint police reaction to things is whenever when something happens, that's when they are on. I have my daughter's mother, may she rest in peace. I'm gonna tell you the truth. It was a standoff between me and her on 9th Street back in 2000. She pulled a gun on me, I pulled one, but the gun I had went off. It was a hair trigger, it was fucked up. I'm sorry. I mean, it was messed up. But anyway, we're right across from Hurley Hospital.
Okay.
We called the police. The police did never come. Hurley said they didn't have an ambulance that could come right across the street to get her. Okay? So nobody ever showed up. This thing is a repeating thing when it comes to the Flint police and any rescue squad that you call here in Flint. It's always after something went down, somebody's got seriously hurt, is when they show up. Other than that, they don't try to prevent anything here. They don't try to be, solve. They say they're peace officers, but where's the peace when you don't show up? And we're telling you that this thing is getting out of hand, but you come after somebody either got shot, stabbed, or what have you. Now you here. Well, it's too late now. You should have been here before. And the thing about it too, this is another excuse the Flint police have. We don't have that many men on. Or everybody's responding to chaos here in Flint. Come on, man. It don't take no 17 cars to be at one scene. When there's something else going on at another scene, one of them cars can leave. I've seen this too much. Police respond to one altercation, and there could be another one across town, and they won't leave the first one they at. Everybody's standing around talking and discussing it while this radio is going off saying we got another problem across town. But they ain't got no men, but we got all these cars at this one altercation. It's messed up how they do. It's like they don't care until things step off.
And that's why and that's why I wanted to have you on, because I used to work in TV news, and we were not allowed to dig into all this information all the time. That's kind of why I quit my job. I wanted to take the time to tell people what's really going on. And it sounds like your dad should be alive today.
He should.
Yes. There was 3 calls.
3 different calls from people in that building.
And the police never came.
And they never came. One person who said that they were told that they were busy with another car crash somewhere off a Door Highway or somewhere, and they didn't have the men right now.
You mean the night that you mean the day it happened, the day he did it?
Yeah.
Throughout the day, yes. Yeah. 3 different people out there in that compound, that complex.
Because of the noise and the ruffling around and stuff.
Because there was, tussling and arguments going on with my pops and my brother way before the murder. And 3 calls was made to the police, and they never showed until the fire department came.
And it was too late at that.
It was too late.
But also,
And just like at Mama's house when that happened.
Go ahead. Sorry.
At Mama's house when that happened, not only was he out on parole, he also had a warrant for a new charge that he has for assault with intent to do great bodily harm, less than murder, on a pregnant woman.
Yeah.
And carjacking.
Yep. Yep.
That he had in court for
felony.
Yeah.
And they still didn't do anything with him. So having a warrant for that plus parole violation, he still should have been brought in.
So the people with the parole agency, the prison, the jail, it's a failure on every level.
Yes.
Why? I really appreciate you talking about this, because nothing's going to change unless people really know what's going on. Nothing can bring your father back, but hopefully something can change, because you're probably not the only ones this has happened to. There's probably people that are out on the. Is that true?
Yeah,
we're not.
It's happening all over here.
It's happening all over. I mean, like I said, the police don't respond until after something happens. It's like, we ain't gonna come unless somebody get really totally hurt or severely hurt, and then we'll be there. And that's what they do. That's exactly what they do.
Switch out.
Keep you on the phone.
So I can hear you talking.
I said dispatch will leave you on the phone talking to you, asking you 1,001 questions instead of dispatching the police. And then when they do, you got an excuse saying that they don't either have the manpower or they can't make it for some other reasons and whatever have you, but they'll be there soon somebody gets severely hurt. Now they want to pull up. Now, it's just, it's sad to say, but there's I don't feel like the police here in Flint, they respect the fact that they have a job to keep the peace. They rather make their job simpler.
I think they're afraid.
So I want to be able to see you again. Can you switch seats again? Sorry. Sorry. I
no, that's okay.
I would have loved.
No, that's okay. I wanted to my TV, but it wouldn't work for some reason. But it's like that. I said, it's like they don't want to do nothing until somebody gets really hurt.
Yeah, there's some people out there that are saying, criticizing the police for they're being too tough on people, but you wanted them to be tough on your brother because you knew you knew the danger he represented, I guess.
Yes.
Right.
And you were probably doing tough love by having him where he was because you knew the danger. So you may have loved him, but you also knew what he was capable of.
Right.
Damn. What, my God. So just by getting this story out there, hopefully people will start realizing people need to start speaking up because something's not working.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, just like my little brother said, just a few minutes ago, I think a lot of the Flint police are scared of a lot of these young guys and people out here because a lot of people need the help and they're not getting it, and they don't care about the police. And I get it. I mean, I really do get it. But you still have a job to do.
Yeah.
You still have a job to keep the peace. Whether you scared or worried about these people, what might happen to you, you still are a police officer. You still wear that uniform. There should be no excuse, no matter what's going on. This is your job, So, but I really feel like he's right. I think they really are scared because look at all the murders and things that have happened in the Flint area, and a lot of it don't make no sense. But I guess if you gotta fear anything, I guess you will fear man. But like I said, you're still a peace officer. You got to be there for the society.
How many? Let me ask you. I worked covering crime for a long time. How many instances do you think there are people out on the street who have broken parole, that have warrants, that are not in jail or prison, but they should be. Are a lot of people slipping through the cracks?
Yes, I could say that. Yes,
Probably
yes,
thousands.
yes. I know a few right now that should be for real, but they still out here doing the same old thing. But then they blame it on jail overcrowding too. They want to say the jail's overcrowding. They only want to keep those that's doing heinous crimes or serious crimes and stuff. But yet and still, these same people are getting PR bonds and what's the name, bonded out and stuff like that, and back on the street. So I mean, like, I understand that it's populated. The county can't hold but so many. But if they would do their job and sentence the people that they see that is a repeat offenders of assaulting someone, you feel me? It'll be a better place. Let's get rid of them instead of.
There's a lot of felons on the street right now.
That's what I was wondering. And for
There's
Tony
a lot of
or
people.
John, for your family, and I bet, have any of you told a police officer, my brother is going to kill someone? You probably said that at some point.
Well, I haven't, but I'm pretty sure, Tony might have, because I know he's been around him more this past year than I have.
I warned a lot of people, leave him alone. Don't trust his character, because he's a good manipulator.
Oh yeah,
he knows how to talk his way out of things, and talk people out of things to make them believe in his truth.
Yeah,
a lot of people fall into
this. If the police or the parole officer would have investigated and asked questions, they would have known. If they would have even taken the time to answer the phone or call you back.
He was paroled to his girlfriend's house when this last time he got out of prison. He was not even supposed to step foot in our dad's apartment, period. He was not supposed to be there.
Yeah, he wasn't.
That's another thing I don't understand. He was not paroled there. So he gets on the phone one day, I guess, as he say, and told his parole officer he was back at Pop's house all of a sudden. He was not supposed to be there after the first altercation with him acting crazy and flipping out on everybody and
jumping on Pops.
I stopped him then. Actually, twice, me and a friend of mine.
Yeah.
So,
this isn't the altercation. This time, he got him while everybody was off guard.
Well, I wanted to talk to you because, Channel 12 did a story and it was okay, but I want people to know what really is going on. And do you have any idea what could fix this? It sounds like there's so much going wrong in the system.
There is. It's going to take a lot of investigating. It's going to take a lot of time, because it's also more to the story than it is. There's way more to do.
Well, I kind of feel like you can't fix broke at this point, because the system has always been broken.
Yeah.
And they ain't never tried to fix it. And they keep coming out with more laws and restrictions, but nobody really follow them, not even the police. So until the mentality of those who are in charge, of talking about our politicians, from the senators, congressmen, even city council here in Flint, until they start honestly focusing on the problems and really trying to investigate, like you doing here, investigating these problems, asking people what they want to see happen. Because see, it used to be the people were the ones who ran the government. It was our decision. It was our votes. It was whatever we said that this is what they were looking at. Okay. Well, that done stopped a long time ago. Now it's all about who got the cheddar, who got the money. And it's mostly these politicians. As long as they get that bread, they ain't too much worried about what happened around here. And that's just the way I see it. And it's sad because
and just how this happened, the police show up late all the time.
They should care. And it's starting younger and younger. And so many people wonder why, especially with Flint, with the young people, if they don't help them when they're younger, they're going to go on maybe to do this or shoot a bunch of people, and people wonder why. It starts when you're young, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But see, that's another thing. Our young don't have the guidance like we had. I mean, we had parents in our life that had believed in morals, values, and respect and things. These kids don't have that no more because so many parents are either on drugs or they're caught up in their own life situations that they don't give a care about the kids. They're just letting their kids run free, do whatever they want without, really sitting down and explaining to them the facts of life and how consequences and things can really change your life and mess you over. You know what I'm saying? We had that when we were growing up. We had someone that would sit down with us and, hey, no, you don't do that. And it would tell you the reason why and try to guide you in a direction to where you think first before you react. And that was one thing that Dad always said. Think first before you react. Just don't react because you're mad and upset, because every reaction, there's an action, So kids don't have that, these days. They just out here free. And until the parents, really honestly, in this generation, until the parents really start honestly getting involved with their kids and it's not so much involved in their own personal selves, maybe society be a better place. But right now, like I said, you can't fix broke because it's been broken for so long. It's hard to fix these days because now look at it. It's got out of hand. My little brother took his dad's life. And what's so bad is not only did he set him on fire, but he hit him with a crowbar before he set him on fire. You know what I'm saying? That right there was, at his age, should have killed him right then and there. You know what I'm saying? Because he was an older man and he hit him in the back of the head. So I know my little brother's blow, that took him out alone. You didn't have to set him on fire, but he did it anyway.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So this thing here, man, for him to go to that length to do this to Dad.
And he stayed there.
And watched. That's sad.
And it's crazy. And it's premeditated. And the police could have did something way before it got out of hand. But and they said my father tried to get out the door, the front door to the apartment. He wouldn't let him out. They said they seen my dad trying to get out the patio, went out the patio door to the apartment. And they said, let's believe when he struck him the first time, pulled him back into the house, into the, while I was smoking, before the fire started really raging. My dad tried to get out. But he struck him, pulled him back in. So
wow.
That's telling me he wanted him to die.
Yeah.
Yeah. And your dad, the way the world's going now, like someone told me before, your dad might be in a better place because this world is, I don't know what to say, the way things are going.
I miss him because we'll sit up, have coffee on Sundays, breakfast, watch a sermon on Gino, things he like. We'll listen to sermons, and we had a beautiful time together,
Yeah.
Good moments.
Yeah, real good moments.
We had
I remember doing the
ups
thing.
and downs, but he never told me nothing wrong. He always gave me good advice. And I helped him with his bills, grocery shopping, everything.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
me and my family.
Yeah. I mean, the conversations, that man was so smart and so with it that, we could sit back and be talking about anything and everything. And even if it was something serious from the politics, from just life in general, he would make you laugh just by, how you talk about the situation. You know what I'm saying? It was serious talk, but it was a lot of intelligence, a lot of laughter. It was like, he didn't let nothing get you down and he didn't tell you nothing wrong. He tried to make it as peaceful as it was, you know what I'm saying, in any conversation about whatever you talk to, so that you could get understanding, because he'd been there, done that. And that was one of his words, I've been there, done that before, son. I know, where that's going, So, for him to be as beautiful as a man as he was, and to be able to relate to you in a way to where no matter how serious it was, he could still put a smile on your face. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But still keep it real with you. That's a real man. Not too many men can do that.
Well,
very forgiving.
I want everybody to, I'm saying a prayer, and everyone to know that that is what a real man is right there, the man in that picture, and everyone should know about it. Yeah, because that's what we need to get back to. We need to get back to, you know, real men and a family, mom and dad, and like the man right there. So hopefully if people see this, you know, it can try to, I don't know, get in people's brains that we need to change some things.
He was a really humble man, very forgiving. He wasn't an angry person at all.
No.
Even the little thing, he could just let it go, understand the situation. We'll talk about it, not yell about it, and let it go.
Yeah.
But what happened recently, this was too extreme. And
it was uncalled for. It was uncalled for. You know,
well,
I think my brother Franklin was fighting his own demons, and because of that, he lost control because he wanted something from dad that dad didn't have at the time, and I guess it would be money. You know, but if he didn't have it, he just didn't have it. It wasn't like he didn't want to give it to him, because I know dad, he would give it any of us. If he had it, he would give it to us. So I believe that my brother was just fighting his own demons that day. Like my brother was saying, he was talking about doing this for a long time, and for whatever reasons he felt that dad was wrong. That was his own thoughts and pleasures of what he thought of his own dad, our own dad. But dad never did nothing to that boy. He tried to do everything he could for him, even though he felt the way he did. When he called me and told me, he said, son, you know, Franklin wants to stay here, but I really don't want him to stay here, because I believe that would be the death of me if I do. And I said, Dad, if you feel like that, don't do it. But he couldn't close his door to him. So that just lets you know that even though he feared him in some kind of way, he still loved him as his son and opened his door to his son, even though he was in fear.
An amazing man. I'm gonna let both of you go. I'm going to put this out there. I want everyone to share it and see it, because maybe the officials, the mayor, the governor, the lawmakers, they need to realize real people's lives are being impacted by this. So, you know, I appreciate you talking, and prayers to your family, and just thank you so much.
Thank you. And I would just want to close with this.
Yes.
Anybody that's having problems in the family, in their family, anywhere in Flint, please don't give up on your family. Please stay strong and look into the other side of things, because see, we might not see the full picture, but there's always two sides of the story. You know what I'm saying? So look out for family, because that's all we got these days is family.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much. I'll let you. I'll send you a link of this later when it airs during the week. And my prayers with all of you.
Thank you, and thank you for doing the story, sir.
We appreciate you.